Every time I meet somebody or I get close with somebody, or most often when I begin to work with somebody, I tell them the same thing. Don't be afraid to tell me that I have something in my nose. Now, you may ask yourself, well, Willie, why is it that you tell people that? I'll tell you why. You see, a few years ago, I went to lunch with a friend. We agreed to meet at the mall, and so we met, had lunch, sat for about an hour, ate and talked, had a very, very good time. And then we separated. She left. I decided to go and walk up and down to the mall. It was around Christmas time, and me, being very last minute, decided that, hey, now is the perfect time when the mall is full of people to do all of my shopping. So I walk around, and like I said, because I didn't do a lot of shopping, I had to go into every store to see who will take all of my money. I would walk around, I would see people I know, we would talk, catch up, I would talk to strangers, and we would have very good conversations. So after about 3 hours, maybe 3.5, I got back to my car. I fixed the mirror. Looking in the mirror, I realized something very, very bad. I had something in my nose. It was gross, okay? It was disgusting. I was embarrassed. I don't know. It was horrible. I was very, very embarrassed. But even more so, I was angry. So I sat with my friend for at least an hour at lunch, and she did not tell me once that I had something in my nose. So the first thing I did was I messaged her. The conversation went something like this. Hey, how you doing? You couldn't tell me I had something in my nose? Oh, well, I didn't see anything. Really? You saw nothing? No, I didn't see anything. Okay, cool. So I know what you are thinking. It was not her responsibility to ensure that I looked my best. I get it. Fair enough. However, even if she saw nothing, I went through the whole day meeting people, talking to people, smiling up, shaking hands, everything, and nobody said anything. Nothing at all. Nada. So I couldn't trust anybody to tell me that I had a booger in my nose. But years later, I look back at that situation, and it makes me think about my relationship with criticism, with feedback, and with accountability. I want people, whenever we work together, to tell me where I'm going wrong. Now here's the thing. Criticism and feedback and accountability, they're not easy things. Criticism is not easy to hear. And as much as I say I want you to give me feedback, I may not be the best at receiving it. The Bible says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. We should always want feedback, whether it is in our work life, in our home life, and especially in our Christian walk. So yes, we should welcome feedback. Sometimes it may not be easy to hear, and oftentimes people say things, whether they mean to or not, it will hurt. For instance, my father, he's a very, very plain speaking individual. Essentially what that means is that he tells it like it is. However, I'll tell you one thing. That day at lunch, had it been him instead of my friend, I can assure you, he would have told me that I had something in my nose. I'm certain of it. And it's not about just looking bad. You may have some bad habits or some behavior that may be detrimental to your career, to your marriage, to your friendships, or even to your very well-being. So with that in mind, I encourage you all to embrace constructive feedback, whether you give it or you receive it. And for those people in your life who are willing and able and prepared to have those difficult conversations with you, consider them a blessing. Because we will all need somebody in our life at some point who will tell us that we have something in our nose.